Exclusive. A voice from detention. Mahmoud Khalil's fight for freedom and against injustice *. Mahmoud Khalil, a Palestinian activist, recent Columbia University graduate and green card holder, finds himself unjustly incarcerated in a Louisiana immigration detention facility. His voice, silenced but not broken, resonates through this exclusive statement, a testament to the relentless struggle against political persecution and the erosion of fundamental rights within the United States. This is not merely a story of immigration. It is a chilling account of the suppression of dissent and the weaponization of the legal system against those who dare to challenge the status quo. For the first time since his arrest on March 8, 2024, Khalil speaks out, his words carrying the weight of his experience and the urgency of his situation. His arrest, he alleges, was orchestrated by federal immigration authorities acting on a State Department order to revoke his green card, a direct consequence, he asserts, of his outspoken activism in support of Palestinian rights. From the stark reality of his Louisiana detention cell, Khalil paints a picture of injustice, detailing the chilling conditions faced by countless immigrants within the U.S. detention system. His powerful statement transcends personal experience, becoming a poignant indictment of systemic flaws, bureaucratic overreach, and the chilling effect on free speech. "I am a political prisoner," Khalil declares unequivocally. "I am writing to you from a detention facility in Louisiana, where cold mornings and long days are punctuated by the quiet injustices inflicted upon countless individuals denied the protection of the law." His words resonate with the weight of personal suffering, but also with a broader concern for the escalating assault on civil liberties. The experience, he explains, is all too familiar to Palestinians living under occupation. "I think of Gaza hospital director and pediatrician Dr. Hussam Abu Safia, who was taken captive by the Israeli military on December 27 and remains in an Israeli torture camp today. For Palestinians, imprisonment without due process is commonplace." This stark parallel underscores the universality of his struggle and the deep-seated injustice he faces. The arrest itself was a blatant violation of his rights. Khalil recounts the traumatic experience of being apprehended in his university-owned apartment in front of his 8 months pregnant wife, Noor Abdallah. The arresting agents, he claims, refused to present a warrant before forcibly removing him in an unmarked vehicle. This arbitrary detention, the lack of due process, and the chilling disregard for his fundamental rights all point to a deliberate targeting of his political beliefs. Khalil's lawyers argue that the Trump administration's actions constitute unlawful retaliation for his activism and constitutionally protected speech. An amended petition filed last week contends that his detention violates his constitutional rights, including those of free speech and due process, exceeding the government's legal authority. The legal battle is far from over. His attorneys are fighting in a New York court to secure his transfer back to New York and ultimately his release. A federal judge has temporarily blocked his deportation, but the legal challenges continue. Federal prosecutors, however, are attempting to move the case to Louisiana, seeking a more conservative judicial environment. Khalil's activism is undeniable. He played a leading role in Columbia University's pro-Palestinian protests last spring, acting as a mediator between protesters and university administrators. His prior experience working for the British Embassy in Beirut further underscores his commitment to international diplomacy and advocacy. The Trump administration, however, has framed his activism as activities aligned to Hamas, invoking a rarely used legal provision from the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1952 to justify his deportation. This provision allows the Secretary of State to remove individuals whose presence is deemed to have potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences for the United States. The administration's actions are not isolated incidents. Following Khalil's arrest, Trump himself declared it the first of many to come, threatening to deport other foreign students involved in pro-Palestinian activism, labeling their demonstrations as pro-terrorist, anti-Semitic, anti-American activity. This rhetoric has created a climate of fear and intimidation, not only for students, but for all who dare to express dissenting opinions. Columbia University, facing intense pressure from the Trump administration, has also taken disciplinary action against students participating in pro-Palestinian protests. The administration, under the guise of combating antisemitism, is leveraging similar tactics to threaten dozens of other American universities with potentially crippling funding cuts. This broader attack on academic freedom and the chilling effect on free speech represent a far greater threat to democratic values. Khalil's case is not merely an immigration issue. It's a battle for free speech, due process, and the very principles upon which the United States claims to be founded. His story demands attention, and his voice, though stifled by detention, must be heard. It is a stark warning of the potential consequences of unchecked political power and the erosion of fundamental rights in the pursuit of a political agenda. His ordeal should serve as a call to action, inspiring a collective effort to protect the rights of all individuals, regardless of their political beliefs or origin. This is a fight for justice, a fight for freedom, and a fight for the very soul of American democracy. Read Khalil's full statement for a deeper understanding of his experiences and the urgent need for change.